Thanks for joining me for this video, and Malik, who wants to be a part of this. What we're going to do is unbox our new Schumacher battery charger. We picked this up from Amazon. The reason we got this charger really quick is we're waiting for our solar setup. We're not at the position where we can set that up yet, and yet we've only got just one battery at the moment. We're going to add some batteries, but we need a faster way to charge our battery bank. Our RV has a trickle charger built into it because you're typically going to hook your RV to shore power and you don't need crazy charging capacity. So it only charges about 1.5 amp capacity. So we ordered this particular Schumacher charger because it'll charge 15 amps. And it's actually a computer controlled charger, so it can actually go through the different stages of charging for us. It detects the voltage, does its magic. So we're going to use that when we charge with our generator to make sure our batteries are going to get topped off, because right now we're actually using more power each day than running the generator is putting back into the battery bank, not because of the generator, but because the trickle charger on our RV just doesn't put out much juice into the battery. So let's take a quick look at this charger and see what we've got. Alright, so let's take this thing open and see what we got. We picked this up from Amazon, although we actually shopped locally for this particular charger. We were just really confused because there were so many options. So it was actually really helpful to kind of go to a store and look at all these chargers. And then we actually shopped online to see. We asked the local retailer if they would price match, and they said they would not. So we were kind of left with the choice of whether to buy locally or not, and we ended up saving almost $30 on this charger. So in that case, it made more sense for us to buy online instead of trying to buy locally. So this charger is made by Schumacher. It's called a Ship and Shore 15 amp rapid charger. And we got this one again because it's able to charge 12 volt batteries, and it's able to charge with a 15 amp current. So if we ran this for 1 hour, in theory, this charger should be able to put 15 amps back into the battery in 1 hour. So 15 amp hours. So if we use, say, 5 amps a day, we should be able to easily top the battery off pretty quickly. Right now, we've been running 1 amp. It's not enough. We're running the generator for hours, and we're just not getting our battery topped off. So let's open this box and take a closer look. When you go looking for a battery charger like this, it's $50 I think is what we paid right around there for this particular charger. It's a really good investment because to jump to an equivalent type charge controller for a solar system, you're looking at least $300. And if you really want to invest in an integrated system, you're going to have to spend around $2,000. So we're trying not to band-aid fix our problems, but at 15 amps, with our generator, this can easily top our battery off. We may not even need to run our generator every single day. So it's a pretty big savings for us there. So this is kind of a temporary fix for the interim until we get our solar charging system set up. We're not going to do that for a while because we don't want that until our house is ready. So we could spend like upwards of $6,000 to $8,000 putting a 2 kilowatt solar system in, but we don't have a need for all of that power right now. So in the interim, we can start to accumulate batteries for our battery bank, and then this charger should pretty quickly top off the batteries for us. Of course, once we get to a household, we're going to need a substantial amount of charging each day because we run a lot more electronics. So this should hold us over pretty well, we think, until we get to that point. But we can, again, grow our battery bank, and then this charger should be able to fill up a pretty good sized battery bank, and then we may only need to run our generator once a week or something along those lines. So let's take a little closer look at the charger together. Alright, so what is in the box with this charger? So it's pretty compact. It's a charger and an operations manual. I'd like to read this operations manual pretty carefully because some of the reviews said that, everybody's getting different results. So I think I need to read this really carefully and understand how the charger works. So that's all that's in the box is the charging unit and the cords on the back side there. So let's kind of look at some of the options on the front of this charger a little more carefully because it does do a few different things. So let's take a closer look at these. So this one has a computer control in it that's designed to basically understand what your battery is and what it needs. And it can go through a lot of the different charging stages such as bulk charging, absorb charging, and float charging. If you're not sure what those are, do a little Googling around. You can kind of understand how batteries are best charged. And this being a ship and shore feature charger, it's designed to work with deep cycle batteries, unlike a car battery charger that is more for typical car batteries. Deep cycle batteries can handle a pretty aggressive charge rate because they have such an aggressive discharge rate. So this charger can do 2 different voltages. It can do 6 volt and 12 volt. And it has different settings for what you're trying to charge. So if you're trying to charge like an ATV battery, which we do have an ATV, you would want to set that to Power Sport, which it shows here that would be a 3 amp charging rate, so pretty low. And then if you set it to Automotive Marine, it can charge up to 15 amps. This charger actually decides how much charging to give you. It doesn't just charge at 15 amps, period. It actually delivers the appropriate amount of amperage and voltage to top off your battery. It has a percentage sign and then a volt sign. I'm assuming that shows up on this little display here, so you can kind of see where your battery is right now. The little indicator light here probably tells us that it's charging or not. And then once this lights up, I'm guessing that tells us that it's charged and that it's just holding it in a float stage, so it's not aggressively charging. This setting over here, you can tell it what kind of battery you're charging. Standard would be a lead acid battery, so it's typical for most wet type cells. Then you have AGM or absorbed gas mat, and then you have gel battery. So in our case, we're going to be using just lead acid, and we'll set it to that. And that just determines kind of the charging algorithm that it uses to charge your battery topped off. So those are some of the basic settings for this charger. We'll have to kind of take a look. A lot of folks have said that it'll say it's fully charged, and then if you turn it off and turn it back on, it suddenly says it's not charged at all. So we'll have to kind of take a look at it. This is really just an unboxing. We'll decide whether it's actually a usable model or not. But people are saying that to get an equivalent charger in a more commercial model, you're gonna have to spend several $100s. And again, this little guy, about 50 bucks. So those are some of the basic settings here on the front. One other thing, I was just looking through some of the quick start guides here. It actually has a reverse polarity protection too, which is kind of nice. So you can't hook it up backwards and blow the charger up. And then on the back here, a lot of people commented that it's kind of an irony that you get this crazy charger and the cord is like itty bitty. So, for example, if Malik were to hook this charger up, he'd need an extension cord. So we will too. A lot of people commented, you know, this cord is tiny. It's just okay, you know, get a little extension cord. You're probably going to need one anyway, or if you have an extra one laying around. And then it only comes with one style of connector. I think people were kind of complaining about that a little bit in some of the reviews. I'm not really sure why. But you can see the little storage compartment here for the cables, and it comes with the typical, you know, alligator clamp style. But I think people were hoping that it had the kind that you can screw on or thread onto the connectors there, the battery poles. I guess you can't really change it. I mean, you could probably modify it, customize it, but so they only provide these alligator clamps. There's no other option. You can't. I don't think you can unplug it or provide. There's no other way. So you'd have to cut and modify. I don't know. It's up to you whether you want to do that. This should be just fine for us. I definitely wouldn't consider this a long-term solution. But this should work just fine. So we'll plug it in, we'll give it a try and see how it works for us. Hopefully we'll get this battery topped off and stop running our battery dead every single day. And expect a review of this particular product here coming soon. One more thing I just wanted to share with you about these chargers. One of the reasons we had to do a lot of research on these, it's really confusing because there's a million different options. This particular charger can charge 6-volt and 12-volt batteries. It's important when you're looking for a charger. There are some that can charge 12-volt and 24-volt, only 12, only 6, only 24. You get the point. It's really confusing. And then some of them are not really designed to work with deep cycle batteries, though they can work. You'll find that some can charge at 3 amps, 5 amps, 10 amps. Some are variable, some are not. It's very confusing. At one store, we found, I think, 12 different variations of Schumacher chargers. So We recommend this one. We haven't done a full test of it yet, but we recommend this one because of its versatility. The computer control really takes over the charging and should make it very easy. Basically, plug it in and let the computer do its work. Some have even commented that they can take an older battery and plug it into this charger, and it will go through a cycle and bring that battery back to life. We'll test that out and tell you whether it's really workable or not. But when you're looking for a charger, you'll find even this model is available in a 12 amp, which just saves you like $6. So this is a Ship and Shore rapid charger from Schumacher, and it's the 15 amp model. So if you enjoyed this video and you want to learn more about our homestead, we're doing an off-grid project here. We're doing solar, we're building a timber frame barn, we're milling our own lumber, we're demolishing houses, we're doing a lot of fun stuff. So if you enjoyed this video and you'd like to learn more, you can follow us on our blog. It's purelivingforlife.com. We also have an Instagram and a Facebook. If you enjoy those, follow us there. And if you're watching this video on YouTube, please don't forget to subscribe so you get all of our future videos. We'll see you next time.